This is NR2003 Predicts. We take the entry list of NASCAR's top 3 series, send them through the ratings algorithm, and see who comes out on top. Here's a few tidbits to know heading in. The driver ratings are updated race by race to reflect the performance of that driver throughout the season, as well as at that specific track in recent years. The races are at 100% length and use normal tire and fuel wear. The starting lineup will match the real-life qualifying using the provisional starting order, not the one that includes drivers heading to the back. The weather will match the real-life start time data, and commentary will match the real-life scenarios, not the standings that will be posted at the end of the video. And as always, this series is for entertainment purposes only. Using artificial intelligence and using the results of this race for gambling purposes is discouraged. Let's take a look at how they fared in trucks. No surprise, Kyle Busch gonna run away with this one, claim the victory just over Cody Werbaugh, who had a pretty good run today. Grant Enfinger, the winner of the race at Daytona, comes up in the 3rd position. A couple of guys not having great days. Brett Moffitt a little bit further down in the top 20. Sheldon Creed having some problems on pit road. He would finish in 2nd to last place. And in the Xfinity Series, make it 2 for 2 for the guys from Las Vegas as Noah Gragson makes it 2 in a row. His first 2 career wins in the Xfinity Series, getting him in the first 2 races of 2020. Ross Chastain would come up just behind him, followed by Gregson's teammate Michael Annett and Chastain's teammate Justin Haley. And after getting a 2nd straight pole thanks to the rain, Meisner's still not going to fare too well as he finishes back just above the top 30. Here's a look at the Cup Series now. Green flag flies. Kyle Busch out in front. Another rain-canceled qualifying. He's going to set this one by 2019 owner points. Busch gets right out in front of his teammate Truex Jr., and they both pull down to the inside line, get in line. Denny Hamlin, though, not going to be as lucky right there as Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano slot in just behind the 2 leaders. But Truex Jr. looking pretty stout pretty early as he goes to the inside line looking for the lead. And looks like he's going to get it through turns 3 and 4. 19 car up in front to start this race. A little bit of problems as we came through lap number 2. A little bit of contact between Corey LaJoie and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. puts the 47 in the wall, collects Cole Custer. 47 pretty much spun out right there in the turns, but they are not going to throw the caution for it. They're going to keep running. Kurt Busch, one of the drivers from Las Vegas, along with his brother Kyle. Those 2 have the most poles here among the active drivers. Both have a pair of them, along with 6 other drivers that have also claimed poles here in the past. The 1 car, though, not looking terribly great right now, not inside the top 10. But the Penske drivers, they love this racetrack. All 3 of the drivers for Penske up here in the top 5, an average finish. Joey Logano leading the way, 8.5 in his starts here at this racetrack, and he is drafting his way along with Brad Keselowski up toward the front. Jimmie Johnson, the most wins here among the active drivers, 4 in total. Brad Keselowski, one of those drivers that is looking to match him on that total, as the 48 car lagging back a little bit, just like Kurt Busch is. Out in front of a few contenders, Kevin Harvick trying to work his way into the top 5, and he actually ties for the lead with most top 5s at this track, along with Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch. The 2 car is currently tracking well in getting another one of those and taking the sole possession of that lead, but Harvick's going to try to track him down as he runs in the 6th position right now. In the top 10 column, Kevin Harvick does lead that, as he gets followed by a medley of drivers, including Logano, Johnson, Kyle Busch. We're seeing right here Brad Keselowski. The 18 car started well, but not doing great right now, trying to work his way back into the top 10. So he's fallen out a little bit. Jimmie Johnson leading the way in the laps led column, as well as Kevin Harvick, just a few laps behind him. Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr. here. He's working his way toward the top 5, not quite there yet, though, as that pack has kind of fallen back from Aric Almirola, who currently runs in 5th position. The big story of the week, obviously, Ryan Newman suffering a head injury from the wreck at Daytona, and he is not in the race car. Ross Chastain is trying to wheel this one around, doing a solid job right now, but still looking for more, as he currently got lapped by Joey Logano, who now comes down for a green flag pit stop just after 60 laps. That will set the stage for the rest of the field. As Logano comes out, he'll maintain the lead, but he's going to have problems as he gets into Cole Custer, who's damaged from that earlier accident. That's going to send the 41 car around. It's going to hold up Logano, hold him to a little bit of damage, and that is going to bring out our first caution of the day, and that would bleed into the stage. We would see a few pit stops, but they'll cycle around, and Ryan Blaney will end up taking the stage. Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Aric Almirola, Austin Dillon, all holding their spots right there in the top 5. Kevin Harvick, the last one to squeeze in. Chris Buescher getting a couple of stage points there in the 9th position. We'll hit the restart, and Blaney will lead them down. You can see several cars have gone a lap down. In fact, there's only about 15 cars left on the lead lap as that long green flag run allowed some drivers to be passed up. Jimmy Johnson, one of them. He is trying to work his way back toward the now leader, Brad Keselowski, and try to get that lap back. But he's going to have a tall task in front of him as his car has not been quite as strong as the rest of the field. There is Chris Buescher. We mentioned him having a couple of stage points. He's maintaining this spot up here in the top 10. Got a third place finish at Daytona and looking pretty strong right now. And that problem with Cole Custer is ultimately going to bite Joey Logano as he's going through turns 1 and 2. Drifts down to the apron. He has a suspension issue. And that is going to send him to the pits as he is not going to be able to continue this race. A huge tough break for the driver that had been leading a few laps today. Meanwhile, his other Penske drivers are running 1 and 2. They are continuing to dominate this race. Logano is just not going to be among them. He's going to finish last place. But right now, the team looking pretty stout. Austin Dillon putting up a similarly good performance as he runs inside the top 10. RCR not very strong last year. Trying to pick up a little bit of speed. Dillon himself did not put up a top 10 last season at this track, but he is trying to make that happen this time around as he runs in the 7th position. William Byron not running too well. You can see Kyle Larson is going to put him a lap down. The 24 car not handling too well, and obviously the wreck at Daytona puts him in a big hole heading into the next 25 races. Garrett Smithley going to have some contact with Eric Almirola. That's going to put both of them in the turn 3 wall. They're going to continue racing, but obviously a little bit of damage right there for both those cars, as well as Jimmy Johnson getting in the bubble walls going in turn 1. Puts them both in the wall, and still no caution. They will continue racing as long as they can, as long as no one else is in danger. John Hunter Nemechek put up the best performance by a rookie at Daytona. He's going to go a lap down right here at the hands of Keselowski and the other drivers that are around him. But look out for that 38 car, looking pretty well right now to start the season. Eric Jones going to go off the front end of Cole Custer. Not sure if that was incidental contact or something to send a message, but the 20 car ultimately going to go around, hit the wall, and that would bring out another caution. Got about 20 laps left to go on the stage, and Keselowski still out in front. He will pull away very quickly on Kyle Larson, but he is not going to be able to pull away completely as Ryan Blaney rockets his way back up toward the front. Penske is definitely showing the speed today as the 12 car gets ahead of his teammate Kyle Larson. Going to see if he can track him down and steal away the stage, but it's not going to happen as Penske finishes 1-2 in the stage. This time around, Austin Dillon gets his way all the way up to 3rd, and Larson to 4th, Denny Hamlin 5th. Chris Buescher once again scoring some stage points as he finishes 8th in this stage. Gonna be a little pit strategy heading into this final segment. Martin Truex Jr. did not stop for a pit stop under the caution. He is gonna try to work out the fuel strategy a little bit. You gotta remember, they pitted about 20 laps ago because of the caution. They are gonna see what they can do to maybe make it one more stop. Timmy Hill getting into Eric Almirola, going to put him in the wall along with Ryan Preece, who gets a little bit of the aftermath of the 10 car coming down. And once again, no caution happening. Obviously, we're going to see the 19 start to fade back a little bit, get into a little bit of traffic. Obviously, he has the old tires, just a few laps older than the cars that came down to get a pit stop, but obviously it's going to affect him for this next stint. Kyle Larson finds his way up to the front. Keselowski a little bit trapped behind Quinn Houff, and the 42 car going to see what he can do to get ahead. Meanwhile, let's look back. Our Daytona winner, Denny Hamlin, a little bit of contact there possibly behind him between Kurt Busch and Chase Elliott. But the Daytona winner currently running in the 10th position, not showing quite a lot of speed here on the 1.5-mile oval. Able to claim that victory last week at Daytona. Not going quite as well for him, but he's going to get contact with William Byron right here and send the 24 car for a spin. But it's not going to end here. 24 drifts down the track, and he's going to collect Kurt Busch right in the right front, and that is going to be a big accident for both of those drivers as they are going to be both out of the race. You can see here, contact also with Brennan Poole and Chase Elliott. He's going to have quite a crunch on the front of his hood. And you can see the one car eventually drifts to a stop, and that would put him out of the race as well. Keselowski going to lead them back to the green. Just crossing the 200 lap mark. Should note that Martin Truex Jr. did come down for a pit stop along with Austin Dillon. That's going to be something to watch out for as they head into this next segment. And Dillon trying to draft off the 17 car. Might have made a pit stop as well, I believe. Those cars have fresh tires. Martin Truex Jr., though, he is not gaining as much ground as he would like to. I gotta believe he was caught in some traffic coming to the restart. He would have started a little bit further back, and those lap cars got in the way. We see here, though, here comes the 14 of Clint Boyer. He's going to come down for a pit stop. That's going to be his last pit stop. He pitted at the stage, and now he's pitting for his final stint. Ross Chastain, though, he is out there still, and he is running up there almost in the top 5, in the top 10 right now. And actually, as he crosses the line, he is now in the top 5. Going to be some contact here, though. One of the big contenders, Brad Keselowski, gets in the Brennan Poole, sends them both in the wall. No one spins. They keep on running. Chase Elliott, you can see the hood damage to his car. Well, the hood isn't even there anymore because of that contact he made with the one car. But he's up there in the 4th position, 1 lap down. Obviously, everyone behind the drivers that pitted on the last caution. But there's going to be another caution as Daniel Suarez turns Brad Keselowski going to the tri-oval. And the accident isn't going to end here. Jimmy Johnson plows into the back of the 2. Brennan Poole collected. And look at that big hit. Jimmy Johnson going into turn 1. And several drivers going to be collected, including the runner-up at the moment, Chris Buescher. Here's another look at the accident. Jimmy Johnson indecisive where the 2 car was going to go. Look at the big hit coming from the 52 of J.J. Yaley. And there's the stack-up. Corey LaJoie, Ross Chastain, and the 17 of Chris Buescher. And then Buescher's going to get it run into the back of by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And in the midst of that, Austin Dillon able to get around, and he is the benefactor of that caution because the strategy worked out perfectly. Now he has to hold off the 19 car, but the 19 is getting held up by some traffic. He is not able to get up to the 3 car and try to make a challenge. So that is going to leave a big advantage in the hands of Austin Dillon coming around to the white flag. We mentioned it earlier, RCR did not have any speed last season. Dillon finishing 21st in points, 6 top 10s on the year, and none of them came at Las Vegas. He had a 20th place run and a 12th place run, no top 5s at all last year. But right now, the strategy is going to propel Austin Dillon to his first win since 2018 when he won at Daytona. The 3 car comes around turn 4, and he is going to be your victor here at Las Vegas. That comes as a little bit of a shock to the field as somehow the strategy all worked out for Austin Dillon, and he's going to claim the 2nd race of the season. Truex Jr. coming in about 6 seconds behind Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson able to get back on the lead lap after the caution. But look even further down, you got Daniel Suarez. He came out of nowhere and finished 6th place. He might have been on the same strategy those other guys were running to be able to put him up toward the top. The guys running 1 lap down. Harvick and Boyer coming in just behind. Looking back a little bit further, Denny Hamlin, the last car that is only 1 lap down. And you've got a mixture of drivers in this next pack, and you got Matt DiMatteo, Christopher Bell, Reed Sorensen, Eric Almirola, drivers that you'd either see in the top 10 or probably 1 page back, as we'll see right here. Brennan Poole had some damage from that accident earlier. Eric Jones also got spun around, and this is where the drivers that did not get involved in the accidents that took them out will start to fade, including Bubba Wallace, Ryan Preece, drivers that had been in accidents but not taken out by them. Cole Custer 16 laps down as a result of his lap 2 incident. And obviously among those notable drivers to drop out, Jimmy Johnson, Brad Keselowski, Kurt Busch, William Byron, and Joey Logano. That is it for NR2003 Predicts. We hope you enjoy the race, and we will see you all next time.